What's going on, guys? So, I think we all know, sometimes when you watch videos, you want to read the comments. Simple, shouldn't be a problem. It became a problem. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a backstory of Mississippi right now. About a year, I think it's a year ago, they passed a law that is pretty much where the government can police the internet now. I don't know why, but they can. And it's supposed to get rid of porn, so children can't get a hold of it. You know, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. If you can police your own devices, they shouldn't be jumping in to do this. Now, I didn't know it happened. It took me a little while to figure that out. You would think somebody like me, oh yeah, no, he definitely knows. I really didn't. I mean, it didn't take me all of 5 seconds to find out. It was pretty much Pornhub is the only thing that got blocked. But what I found out recently, due to this whole block and all this, I guess they're going to individual internet companies that are based in Mississippi. And they're trying to police them into also helping them by, I guess, blocking the websites. Like I said, not a big deal, it's whatever. But it became a big deal the other day, which I will say it is fixed now. But it pissed me off severely. Got panicky. I was meaning to call them, but luckily they kind of fixed it as of right now. Comment sections of YouTube was completely broken. I could not read anything. I couldn't see any of it. I went to get on my Studio app. Still couldn't access comments, which is a whole section so you can interact with people that comment on your videos. Now, it's not so much I interact a lot on my comments. I don't. I do every now and then, and sometimes it's just hit the heart because me typing up 100 messages just isn't going to happen. Especially when a video blows up and there's new comments and a whole bunch of stuff popping off. So, basically, what I used it for, you know, the comment section is literally to watch, like, goofy videos and look at the comments to see if anybody made a funny joke. So, Wings of Redemption is somebody that, I don't watch him directly, but I watch all his clip farmy troll channels, which I think are hilarious, and it gives me the gist of what's pissing him off for that day. And being that right now he's in the prime of pissed offness, where he's back on Call of Duty and Battlefield, and he's getting really angry and people are trolling him again. So the troll channels are blowing up again in popularity. So yeah, they popped up on my feed. I went to watch them and laugh, went to read the comments, said restricted, and I don't know what that means. So I went through my YouTube app. Nothing's restricted. I went to Google, nothing restricted. I even tried to open up my app for my internet company. I have nothing that says you can restrict it. So I'm going back and forth for a minute. It took me a while, but I finally figured out it was the internet, because what happened when I pulled it up on my TV, which is where I was watching this, because a lot of times when I'm doing power leveling or just some bland leveling in like Call of Duty, stuff like that, I like to play YouTube videos or movies in the background, or if I want to watch a new movie, I'll watch it while doing mundane tasks on my video games. Kind of, two birds, one stone type thing. So that's what I would do. And then I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny. Part video. Let me see if anybody said anything on comments. And I couldn't. It said restricted. So I got a little pissy. So I pulled it up on my phone. That's when I got on, I knew the Studio app was having issues. I done uninstalled and reinstalled, thinking the Studio app was the problem. Which coincidentally it needed an update, but comments wouldn't pull up. I didn't think nothing of it. Just kept saying error. And then when I would unhook from the internet, from my Wi-Fi, magically it started working. I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I went to try to get my computer fire up, and when I finally fired it up, I went and looked, and it was running fine. Everything in here was great. So I cut off my VPN for just a minute, and then realized it was literally the internet, because the VPN would allow it not to control anything. So to further investigate this, I knew that, the dirty sites are pretty much banned in Mississippi. But they never banned them on like Google searches. So you could search them, you just couldn't click on them. When you clicked on them, it would pop up this little lady talking about, hey, this has been banned in your country. You got to verify it with your license and everything, and you got to provide us evidence. So basically, you have to get on there. I think it's make an account. I never did, so I don't know. I just know they're asking for ID, and you have to go through these multi-step third-party setup to be able to just watch porn. So I'm like, okay, well, that still worked. But at the time, recently, it didn't. I'd Google it, and nothing would pop up. Not a website, not a search. It would just be all these mundane, random YouTube videos in the search bar. For instance, literally, like, we'll say Pornhub. I Google Pornhub, nothing. It wouldn't pop up. I'm like, wow, it's very weird. Usually it pops up and just says no access, and they tell you why. Well, then finally, I typed it in the actual web address, www.pornhub.com. and try to force it to go there. That's when it just said no internet. It just stopped. It would load. It started popping up this logo of the internet service I use, and was talking about something AI. So I guess they're using AI to try to read porn sites and ban them. But in doing so, they ended up messing up YouTube entirely. I guess because it was fluctuating between YouTube comments and trying to run, because Google runs YouTube. I guess it was interfering with it or something. I'm not sure. But it was weird that it was like denying access to comments while it was trying to deny access to porn sites. Now, I, for one, don't trust Mississippi at all, so I would never give them my ID to try to just watch porn. Because if you know, Mississippi is very well known to mishandle a lot of things. There's a lot of accusations around here for, government officials, and I'd rather not get into the details of that. But at the same time, I'm also trying to be vague about the internet service too, because I don't want them to try to be like, oh, that didn't happen, I'm going to sue you, blah, blah, blah. Got to be careful with all that. All I know is while I was on Call of Duty with my uncle the other day, or yesterday, maybe been the day before, while I'm playing, just got off stream, sitting there trying to get everything to fire up, and I'm like, yeah, this YouTube stuff ain't working. I don't know why. He said, hang on, I got you. Told me to pull up the app. I go through it. I don't even have the same settings set up he has. I took screenshots. He's like, yeah, you're missing stuff. So apparently I didn't even set up my app right. So I'm still a failure as an adult because I can't adult right, and I keep fucking everything up when it comes to accounts. So I'm going to have to call them probably next Friday to redo my account so I have access to the restriction, which is apparently kind of like an add-on. So they had it, and they had to, kind of cut it off. They had restrictions for YouTube on there for whatever reason. And another thing that it would do, instead of actually popping up like new videos, it would always say catch up and show you videos from like 3 to 5 years ago. And it could be on some things you may have vaguely watched in passing, or it might be a sub, somebody you sub to. So it was completely broken. I didn't know any new news that was coming through my YouTube feed. And I know it makes it sound like I'm addicted and terminally online because I'm like, oh God, I can't access my YouTube channel or my YouTube videos and all the new stuff. All it did was bug the shit out of me because YouTube is just a passing thing where I watch, new stuff and sometimes cover things. So like when I'm in there, I like to watch things too. I might see something new pop up and I'll go look into it. But, I kind of put a little a delay in that. So, all I did was end up double checking and checking like, streaming services, Hulu, HBO, and like Disney. I was checking all them to see if they were messed with, and pretty much everything ran. So I assume it was just Google related. Bing was having some trouble too. I don't know. I don't know how. Especially on a TV, it was just weird. I was just seeing what Bing would do, and Bing was also having issues looking stuff up. In fact, it would look up the stuff like in a search result, but instead of going to that website I was talking, or that cover site where it was like, hey, you got to give us your information to prove you're 18, it just went straight to no internet connection. And it almost like killed my TV where I couldn't even access the internet for a little while after that. So I thought that was kind of weird. I just unplugged everything, plugged it back up, still was a problem. And then magically yesterday when I got up and after streaming all day and actually doing a video and all that, and then got off, went to go sit down in my living room and cut my TV on for a minute, boom, comments just worked out of nowhere. I don't know how, but it did. And I guess they fixed it for now, because what I think they're trying to do is restrictions, and then you got to go in and either have the option or you uncheck it, I would guess. And that's probably what they're doing right now. They just completely fucked it up. Probably got a bunch of calls about it saying, hey, why is my stuff not having access? Oh, well, this is better help your children. Hey, how about you let me do that? Fuck off. But the fact it was actually causing more problems with other third-party stuff, like, I say third-party, other websites other than porn, I think was their backlash. Because not everybody's going to openly say, oh, how dare you ruin my porn? Well, some people will, but not everybody. And then once it hit YouTube, I guess a lot of people were like, you know what? Yep, nope, you're affecting my kid now. I'm pretty sure they're trying to do a restriction for kids on YouTube, even though there's supposed to be YouTube kids or the ads, and it's just supposed to be children only. And I guess no comments. I'm not sure. I can't even. I don't get on YouTube Kids to verify. But yeah, I just thought that was wild that I completely got butt fucked by the internet for a little bit, just a few days. And by the time I was going to actually try to correct it and call them, it got fixed. I hope it doesn't happen again, but just to double check to make sure everything's good. If I have any more issues, I'll be calling them next Friday to try to reassure I don't want restrictions. Leave my internet alone. I got to be able to look at comments because sometimes, also being I run a channel, if I run by a few comments, I like to leave a little heart. It's a little easier than trying to type to every single person. Some of the earlier subs, I might message them every now and then. But overall, it just makes it quicker. If all right, I'm on for an hour here. Let me see, 5 minutes, like, done, and then go on about my business. It's a lot easier, especially when a video blows up and I have like 100 fucking comments come through in one go. It's just, but I gotta be able to see those comments and interact with some of the guys, some of you guys that like to comment. But yeah, that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.